Hello and welcome to another round of Championship predictions from the On Sport Podcast. I'm Craig Severn. With me, as always, is Mr. Daniel Cody. Let's have a quick recap of the weekend's action in the Championship, and only one perfect score again, and that was for me Norwich's 2-1 victory at Rotherham. Not a good weekend for Daniel Cody. Only the 3 points for him, but I get 7 overall. So let's move on to midweek, and we start off with this first game on Tuesday night. It is Birmingham versus Swansea. Birmingham beat Stoke by 2-1, and Swansea came back from 2-0 down to draw with Wigan 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be fair to Birmingham, and to be fair, it's a rare win. You did call for them, and you got a lot of love in the comments for it, but really, really good run for them. They're now up into the top half, only 4 points off the playoffs, and they're starting to put a bit of form together. That's only one defeat in the last 6, which was a narrow one at Blackburn. I mean, I say it every week, but what he's done with that defence from the end of last year is basically a revelation. And John Eustace deserves so much credit for how they're doing at the moment. It's a gritty, classic away win, and they were really rock solid at the end as well. Swansea Wigan, I mean, you've said it before a couple of times this season, Swansea doing Swansea things. Turn up, 15 minutes, give them a 2-goal lead, a side that losing back-to-back games. And although they came back eventually, I think overall, they'll consider it disappointing. And it goes back to the point you made at the weekend. 76% of the ball, 3 shots on target. And it's exactly what you explained in the last episode. So problems there for Swansea. And Birmingham, they will be happy to let Swansea have the ball all day long. They're going to defend solidly. And I think they're going to nick one on the counter. I'm going 1-0 Birmingham.
Yeah, to be honest, it's actually got a tight one. Obviously, 2 different styles of football. Obviously, Swansea would like to play forever and completely bore me to death. Birmingham, quite resolute, but they get counter-attacking. They've got the players now in to get those counter-attacks in. So that's why they're getting that good form in, which is really, really pleasing to see. Good victory away at Stoke. Swansea, they came back into it. Manning with a nice goal to come back into the game. But at the end of the day, I'm sick and tired of seeing Swansea going 2-0 down and rescuing something, to be honest. But how they're going to, these two teams going to perform, I'm going to go sit on the fence in this one. Unfortunately, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Blackpool versus Middlesbrough. Blackpool lost 1-0 to Luton, and Middlesbrough drew 1-0 with Bristol City.
Yeah, I mean, let's be fair, even as Luton fans, we will never know how Blackpool lost that game. I mean, some of the last-ditch goal line clearances, I mean, yes, great defensively for Luton, but Blackpool were excellent. On any other day, they would have got a result. They had bundles of chances, a few clear-cut chances as well, and let's be honest, those shots aren't...
Would you say... I don't think there were clear-cut chances, though. I think looking at the stats from the EFL, I think there was only one clear-cut chance the whole game, but it didn't look like a clear-cut chance.
Well, Opta had it as 2, and for me, I would say anything that's cleared off the line after beating the keeper is a clear-cut chance, to be fair. So it's up for debate, but Blackpool, let's be fair, they didn't deserve to lose it. We can all agree on that. They put in a good performance, and they'll get results if they play like that in other games, although got to be a little better defensively against the counter-attack still. Middlesbrough, yes, good to avoid defeat yet again, 2 without a defeat now, but for Michael Carrick, he'll be a little bit worried again at home, not able to break teams down as well. Letting an early goal just took away that momentum, but otherwise, they've done what we said. They've been much more aggressive. They had, I think, 4 times the shots Bristol City, more than 4 times the shots on target. Lots of the ball as well, which is interesting to see. So Middlesbrough on the road, I thought were pretty good last time out at Hull. Blackpool back-to-back 1-0 defeats, but they've played okay. I'm going to sit on the fence. Championship's favourite scoreline. Or, no, I'm going to go one more. I'm going to go 2 apiece.
Oh, 2-2.
And sorry to create a scribble on your notepad.
You just did, because I wrote 1. Blackpool. I thought Blackpool, to be fair, the first half was really poor anyway. Stop. Second half, they're okay. I wouldn't say that, to be fair, they should really have scored, let's be honest. But it just wasn't their day in front of goal, and it's not like then he got really behind Luton once, and that's when Cormanel came on. It was used his pace on the wing, but yeah, it wasn't a good. I wouldn't say it was a good Blackpool performance. It was an okay performance by Blackpool, but 2 defeats in a row now, not a very good week for them. So they need to bounce back, especially at home. Middlesbrough, on the other hand, okay point. Not you could probably say that they were there for the taking Bristol City, but to be honest, I think Michael Carrick would more than happy to take a point right now. Still new to this side. He's still got obviously got these couple of games before the World Cup break. then he can really work on this side. So I think he'll take that, to be fair. I think they could do it. I think they could do enough, Blackpool. So I'm going to go for them to nick it by 2-1. Right, Cardiff versus Hull. Cardiff beat Sunderland away 1-0, and Hull drew 0-0 against Millwall.
Yeah, you've got to be fair. That was a pretty good win for Cardiff. And again, gave up a bit of the ball, but actually played all right. I think one of the more encouraging performances we've seen from them. And I know we mentioned about still not appointing a manager, but 2 1-0 wins in the last 3 games and against sides in Rotherham and Sunderland who were promoted last year. That's crucial. Hull, first game under Rossinia, went down to 10 men in the first half, lost their striker, which might be a problem for later down the line, but brilliant defensively. And you've got to give Rossinia credit because Hull have got the worst defence in the league by a million miles in terms of on paper, and he's done some job with them to get a point out of that and not concede. I know Millwall had loads of good chances, loads of shots on goal, loads of territory, but that grittiness, those bodies on the line are the things we haven't always seen from Hull in the last few weeks. So encouragement, but without their star striker, with Cardiff doing all right against the sides expected to be lower down the league, I'm going to go for a repeat. 1-0 Cardiff. There's not normally that many goals in midweek, so I'm sticking low and cautious.
Yeah, not ideal for Hull, but a very good away point, especially at the New Den, down to 10 men. That could have really gone sour, and they held on brilliantly. So not a bad, very good. Well, I say it's not a bad start for the Emery seasons. It's a good start. Clean sheet away from home. They're more than happy to take that because it's very rare they keep clean sheets. Cardiff, yeah, to be fair, they took advantage of Burnley's, obviously how Burnley done it against Sunderland at the Stadium Light. Sport the apple cart there as well. So fair play to Cardiff. They do like a 1-0 victory, Cardiff, this season. Mm-hmm. It must be like the 4th or 5th now. They've got so many clean sheets. Oh, God. I'd hate doing this. I don't like scoring 0-0s in my predictions, but I think I'm going to have to go for 0-0 in this game. I don't know where Hull's going to find their goal scoring form. Cardiff, they get a good victory here. I know it's a 2 out of 3. But then they do draw a blank after that. So I'm going to go for 0-0. Right, Coventry versus Wigan. Coventry beat Watford by 1-0. And Wigan drew 2-2 with Swansea.
Yeah, it was almost a brilliant away day for both, wasn't it? I mean, Coventry, I was going to say they held on. They were very solid. It was an even game, probably deserved to be a draw, but very similar stats. We're back to our old championship that we used to talk about a lot. All of the teams with no possession are winning the games, which is what we want to see. 33% of the ball, had as many shots, double the amount on target, and really restrained Watford for the most part, which, given the form they've been in the last few weeks, is an excellent effort. And Coventry, watch out for them. They're on the charge now. Still 2 games in hand on most, only 6 points behind 7th place Watford. They're going to be catching up very quickly. And Wigan, what a start, but defensively, the confidence wasn't there. I think when they got that first Swansea just before half-time, you knew Wigan probably wouldn't hold on. And obviously the late penalty in the end was enough to get them a point. But it's still a decent point after so many defeats in a row to end it. To get rid of that little drought is going to be a positive for them. Again, only 23% of the ball, so God knows who's going to have the possession in this game. But you have to back Coventry. And at home, to be fair, their favourite score's been a 1-0 win at the moment. So as much as I want to do it again, I think they'll get one more. I'm going to go 2-0 to Coventry. In fact, 2-1. Sorry, another scribble, because we're going to always score on the counter.
Any more scribbles do I need to make today? It's looking worse than doodles. Right, I'm going to go Coventry to win 3-1 anyway. Yeah, obviously great victory, great goal by Gyökeres. Good play there by Coventry. Another good. I don't think there was any doubt that they were going to go down anyway. Once they got that momentum going, I said this for a while, once they get the momentum going, they'll be challenged. Well, so they'll be up there again. So that was always going to happen. Wigan, good point sadly, it's a good point in the end. It should have already been 3. Mm-hmm. Very good start. It's such a shame, really, because they needed that win just to build momentum. Obviously, sitting in the bottom 3 now, and you just wonder whether they're going to get the next win. I say that they'll probably win on Tuesday night now, so but I'm going to go Coventry to win by 3-1. Right, QPR, they're at home to Huddersfield. QPR lost 1-0 to West Brom, and Huddersfield lost 1-0 to Blackburn.
Yeah, QPR West Brom, bit of a bizarre game. QPR, to be fair. And you've got to give credit to West Brom. I know we're not talking about them at the minute, but that is just about the least QPR have created at home all season. They didn't really create much at all. It was a fabulous effort. Huddersfield probably did well to restrict it to 1, given the circumstances, but again, didn't hugely look like winning the game themselves. Not that Blackburn did a huge amount. Huddersfield have got to be very careful here. I know they've got 1 game in hand, but they are at risk with a tough run of games at the moment of getting cut adrift. And we mentioned it. when Fotheringham came in, if he didn't get a result in that first chunk of fixtures, they were going to be in big trouble. They're now going away to QPR, who are still up in that top 6, albeit not in the best of form. And they're 6 points away from Hull in 21st. They've got to get something. QPR haven't scored for 3 games. Huddersfield haven't scored for 2. Huddersfield are going to play for a draw, but I don't think they're going to get it. I know QPR have been poor for a couple of weeks now, but I'm going to go for them to bounce back in style. 2-0, comfortable win. I just can't see Huddersfield surviving at the minute. It's a real shame, but they need a big January.
I don't think they're going to get a big January either, because I maybe finances is just not there for them this season. I think they might have gone gun-ho last season, and it's obviously failed. And
they might need Corberan to come and nick a couple of big value players and then reinvest it on 6 or 7.
It probably get to the stage of West Brom will probably relegate them. I don't know when they're playing them, but it might happen. I don't know. I'm sure you'll find out for me while I'm talking. They're starting to cut a drift. They got done by one piece of quality from Beres and Diaz. Yeah, I'm struggling with Huddersfield at the moment. I really am. It's not good at all. I don't think Mark Fotherin's lasting the season as well. Maybe come January, I don't think he'll still in the job. So I don't know yet. QPR, not the greatest on Saturday. Obviously lost 1-0. Starting to dwindle now. Starting to falter a little bit. QPR since the old Mick Beale to Wolves thing started to come alive. It's downhill there. So he just needs to obviously carry on focusing on himself and get his team back to where he was. I know they've got a few injuries, but end of the day, everyone has, because everyone's playing too many games before this stupid World Cup. They are getting a bit found out at the moment, QPR. I do have them to win though, just by the odd goal, 1-0.
Just to answer your point, Huddersfield play West Brom the 11th of March, and it's in the middle of a run of Burnley, Coventry, Norwich, Millwall, Middlesbrough, Watford, Blackburn. That could be a sacking, I feel. I
don't think he's making the march, but there you go. Right, next up, Sheffield United versus Rotherham. Sheffield United smashed Burnley by 5-2, and Rotherham, they lost 2-1 to Norwich.
Yeah, I'm going to say it. I think that Sheffield United display against Burnley might be the best Championship performance I've seen this season.
That second half was phenomenal.
Phenomenal. And it was too phenomenal because it cost me 3 points in the end, because that would have been my one at 3-2 Sheffield United. But I did say it'd be game of the weekend, and I think that's the first time I've got it right all year. So brilliant performance. The high press against Burnley was magnificent to watch. They were a threat going forward. Ollie McBurney's a transformed man this season. I don't know what's going on with him. He looks like the best striker in the Championship by a million miles. And they made a side who have only lost 1 game all season and been defensively solid until midweek look absolutely awful at the back. So
I think they only conceded 8 before
this week,
Saturday's game, and then they conceded 5.
I mean, it tells you everything. It's an incredible effort from Sheffield United, and I'm still glad that I picked them to win the title, because they're only 3 points off the top now. Rotherham, it's a similar story. They're in the game, they're close, but they can't quite do enough. That's 3 defeats in a row, all by 1 goal. And although against Norwich and Burnley at the start of the season, they probably wouldn't be looking at those games for results. When you're doing it against Cardiff, when you're letting a late goal against Coventry, it's so many dropped points and lost opportunities. And now 2 points above the relegation zone, West Brom hitting form under a new manager. It's a worrying time, and it's a tough run of fixtures. It don't get any easier here. Sheffield United have won 3 in a row. They were good against Norwich before that. I'm going to go, I think I'll go big win. I know this is the game that will be shocked. It's a Yorkshire derby, but I'm going 3-1.
I'm going to go 2-0 Sheffield United. I didn't want to be harsh on Rotherham because they're competing. Rotherham. That's what I said this a couple of years ago when obviously we did Rotherham in the Championship last time. They're competing. They're just not getting the results. And don't want to say it's deja vu here again, but it's starting to look that way, but they're not a bad side. It's just obviously they're unlucky against a good Norwich side, starting to revitalise themselves, Norwich. So, and it's always nice to see a fan helping the player out by giving them their jumper.
I did like that.
And Rafa using it as a towel. So I'm all here for that. So Robin gets my respect. I say Sheffield United were fantastic. They were absolutely sensational in the second half. Unbelievable to do that to Burnley. Carved them open so many times. Done them on the set pieces every time. That will spark them right back into gear, and especially challenging for that top 2. So I'm going to go to Sheffield United to win by 2-0. Right, next up, Nathan Jones derby, Stoke versus Luton. Stoke lost 2-1 to Birmingham, and Luton won 1-0 at Blackpool.
I have a problem with this, Craig, because I don't like to get the bias out, but This
You're
has
gonna have to
got
get the bias out.
it's got 1-0 Luton written all over it. It's one of those classic away wins. There was a stat that came out, wasn't there? Was
I
22
showed
of
you.
the
Yeah, I sent
last
you a stat. Yeah,
22 of the last 27 away wins were 1-0, or was it 16 were 1-0 or something like
16
that?
or 1-0. Yeah,
Ridiculous. 1-0 win at Blackpool. It was the perfect example of bodies on the line, defensive guts, and it's a Luton team that isn't the best quality, but it overachieves so often because it is a proper team. It is a proper unit. And with basically no defenders left, about half the team playing out of position, they achieved. And you've got to say, one of the things we've missed the last few months is having a midfield that's fully fit. That sitting player, Pelly Ruddock, what a difference he's made coming back in. The few defenders that are left are playing brilliantly. Osho's back from suspension. I'd imagine he's going to have to come straight back in midweek. And I know Luton won it late on away from home last year in this game as well. Another one of a similar display in that sort of game. And Stoke, I know they won 1-0 at Wigan, but at home, probably the worst I can remember them being consistently. Birmingham beating them, Coventry, Rotherham, only one goal in those 3 games. I'm going to go 1-0 Luton. And I know it might not come off and I'll look silly, but it's got that written all over it.
No, I'm going to go 2-1 Luton. Was the scoreline last season. I always remember the Bet3 Britann was always a horrible place to go. The fortress, just disgusting to play.
It was the
cold night
cliche.
and Tuesday. Yeah, cold Tuesday night in Stoke. But they just seem to be carved open nowadays, and I don't know with Stoke at the moment. They're having a really, really poor season. They just need to scrap everything, start again, new, change their philosophy, and try and at least be up in the top half of the table. Because I don't
get away from the relegation zone.
I don't see him being in the top half of the table at all this season. I really don't. Luton, yeah, I always say that 1-0 away victories are the best 1-0, but are the best victories, and obviously West Brom did that as well. So well done to them. But Luton's performance, they've actually played all right first half. To be fair, just the quality going forward wasn't good enough. Obviously, good to see Luke Berry back in playing and scoring. But the defending, as a defender, I just absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And if Bristol City did that, or Birmingham did that, or Watford did that, I would love it just as much because everyone's putting their bodies on line. It shows a camaraderie with the squad. But it was a very good 3 points away from home, considering the injuries, and obviously other teams will say, yeah, considering the injury we had. But that was a superb away performance for me. But I'm going to go 2-1 to Luton. Right, final game is Watford versus Reading. Watford lost 1-0 to Coventry, and Reading lost 2-1 to Preston.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game, this, and it falls into that category of if Watford score early, because we know how Reading are going to set up away from home. They're going to try and maintain. They're going to try and contain Watford, as Coventry did really well at the weekend. And if Watford can break it down early, we've seen before, Reading can let in 2, 3 or 4. However, if Reading hold out for half an hour, can nick one from a set piece, they've got a massive team. They've got a real threat from there. I mean, even against Luton last week when I saw them, they missed a couple of headers, missed one great chance against Preston as well. I just don't know what to go for this because it could easily be 1-1 and it could easily be 3 or 4-0 to Watford. I'm going to go for Angry Bilic to win the day. I think Watford are going to score quite early. I think they're going to be aggressive after that. Let's be fair, before Coventry, they'd won 3 in a row and in different ways as well. I think we're going to see them in style. I think they're going to score early, and I'm going to finish with a 3-1 Watford win because I still think Reading will nick a goal on the set piece.
No, I'm going to go Watford to win it by 2-1. With Watford at the moment, they seem to build a bit of momentum. They grind to a halt because they lose a silly game, and obviously fair play to Coventry as well. Oh, sorry, I mentioned Coventry. Another team won 1-0 away from home. Sorry, apologies, Coventry fans. Excellent 1-0 away victory. But they grind to a halt, and then you have to start again. They have to start again. And luckily for them, they can go again on Tuesday. But Reading are no mugs. Obviously, yeah, it was disappointing home defeat, but Reading are no mugs, really. Got a good point away from home last week at Luton. The only problem is they've got a small squad. They're starting to get a bit stretched now, Reading. So
and it's all that good as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that good start it's got that bit of barrier for Reading at the moment, but it's starting to a little bit of a dwindle. So I can see why Watford probably would nick it, but I'm going to go by 2-1. Let's have a quick recap what we predicted for this midweek's action, and all the bias there. We've only picked one away team to win, and that was Luton Town. Oh, we're going to get hammered.
We don't help ourselves, do we?
We don't help ourselves. If Luton don't win on Tuesday, it's going to look absolutely terrible. But other scores, the highest score after that is 3-1, and I've gone for Coventry to win 3-1 against Wigan, and Daniel Code's gone for Sheffield United and Watford to beat Rotherham and Reading respectively by 3-1. And those are predictions for this midweek's action in the Championship. Do you agree with us or disagree with us? Let us know in the comments. And please don't say in the comments why my camera is absolutely shocking. And also, give your predictions for this midweek's action. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Honest Football Podcast, and you can follow us on Twitter at HonestFootball3. And we'll see you next time.